This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Rosten's Reviews. My name is Mr. Rosten, 7-4 social studies teacher here at BMS, and I am very, very excited to be with you for yet another episode from season, I don't know where we're at, but we're on episode 3. This week on Rosten Reviews, we're going to review what we did and it's not U.S. history anymore. It's social studies because we're making that transition, which we'll get into a little bit later. All right, friends, so let me share my screen. Let's review what we did in social studies this week, and we'll talk about it. So we started our week by finishing off our personal histories. There we go. Basically, what we did is we wrote a 2-paragraph personal history. The first thing we talked about was where you come from and your family. Our second paragraph was all about you. So you talked about your interests, your hobbies, places you've traveled, your passions, things you wanted me to know about you as a person. We then went over how the paragraph should be. I reminded you that you needed to indent your paragraphs using 2 fingers on the paper, and then you start your paragraph, and we made sure to talk about how we use capitalization when we're starting sentences. The paragraphs needed to be 5 to 7 sentences long. Punctuation needed to be there at the end of all sentences, capitalize at the beginning of sentences, and make sure that we capitalize proper nouns, which are people and places. So we made sure that those were capitalized, and then we skipped the line and wrote our second paragraph. And I am just put in the grades for that on PowerSchool, so make sure you check those out. Next, we went over our first unit vocabulary. So Unit 0 vocabulary is pretty easy and pretty simple. The words were respect, empathy, integrity, kindness, terrorist, rebellion, bias, proclamation, and liberty. So we reviewed how we do vocabulary in social studies. So I give you the meaning, the definition. You then highlight or underline word or words that help you remember what the definition is. And then we use the word in a sentence. So just for example, right here for integrity, the teacher told us to show integrity in the classroom by helping each other. So we know that integrity means the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. So we did that, and that was awesome. We did a little gallery walk on rebellion. We learned that the simplest definition of rebellion is it means to change. So what we did is we looked at different examples of rebellion. I gave you an artifact around the room. We went around, we wrote one thing we noticed, one thing we wonder, and we made one inference. So we remember when we notice things, we're talking about our observations or the things that we see. When you're going through wonders, it's the questions that you have, and your inference is to make an educated guess. And so you made an inference as to what type of rebellion you were seeing, whether it was a violent rebellion or a protesting rebellion. All right. So we did that. And then we ended this week by starting our look at European exploration and how it affected the Americas. So we're doing a little bit of old school. We're using a textbook, and we're using different types of sources within the textbooks. We reviewed what a primary and a secondary source was. Remember, primary sources are from the time period or event. Secondary sources are sources that give us information after a time period or event occurred. So we talked about how in the book, if you were looking at just like a regular, heading and section in the book, that would be a secondary source. But if you're looking at things like pictures from a time period or event or a map, we talked about how that's a primary source. So we started that this week. We hopefully got the front page done. We learned about the causes of European exploration being the trade routes. They wanted to find new products. They were trying to find Asia, and they're trying to find a way to get there, but they ran into the Americas. So we know they wanted to develop new trade routes. They wanted to establish colonies and develop empires. They wanted to look for riches, meaning, and we talked about how gold was the biggest form of money. And then they wanted to convert people to Christianity. You then took a look at a bunch of different explorers and where they explored, people like John Cabot, Pizarro, Marquette and Joliet. We learned about how the Vikings were actually the first people to discover the Americas in the year 1001. We talked about Henry Hudson, and then we looked at the Columbian Exchange. Next week, we're going to finish this up on Monday. You are going to do a 5 Ws on a European explorer of your choice, and then you're going to present it out to the class. It's going to be pretty dope. I've been doing this now for 2 years. It's a really cool lesson. Gives you a little bit of an opportunity to, practice public speaking. Because remember, we had that little bit of a time period where we were all at home and we lost a year and a half of being able to be social with other human beings. So this is a great opportunity for you to practice your public speaking, and we'll also start to prepare you for the fish bowls that we are going to do towards, throughout the year. So I think that's it. That's what we did in not U.S. history. I keep on saying U.S. history. I'm really going to miss U.S. history. So let's just discuss it real quick while I have you here. All right. So we are going to be transitioning into World Regions 2. Think of it as kind of an extension of 6th grade social studies. So in 6th grade social studies, you guys did geography and ancient civilizations, right? You learned about ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient China. What else did you do? Egypt, right? You did all that cool stuff. And so now in 7th grade, what you're going to start doing is world regions. So we're going to go through some of the different regions of the world. We're going to look at the Americas. We're going to look at North America, Central America, South America. We're going to look at Africa. We're going to look at Oceania. And it's going to be really, really cool. And I'm really excited for the change. We're going to do some more modern things. We're also going to do more geography. So we're going to get, a nice refresher on maps and how to use a map and coordinates and things like that. But it's going to be a really cool transition. So we're going to probably get through Unit 1 of U.S. history. And then we're going to probably maybe a little bit of Unit 2. And then we're going to make that transition and kind of run through it with you guys just to kind of see what works, what doesn't work, how we can go about structuring the curriculum to the best of our ability. So that way you are getting an exceptional World Regions 2 education. And it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. So couple of reminders before I jump out of here. Reminder number 1, this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m., you and your parental unit, guardian, whoever takes care of you, is invited to come to BMS from 6 to 8 o'clock. We are going to be having open house. You will get to meet me, Mr. Rosten. You get to meet the other members of Team 7-4, Miss Rosen for science, Miss Norris for ELA, and you'll meet whichever math teacher you have, because I know a bunch of my kids have all 4 math teachers. So that's either Miss Thomas, Mr. Dreskin, Mr. Bennett, or who's the 4th math teacher? Or Miss Bouzaid, my new neighbor. Sorry, Miss Bouzaid, my bad. So you get to meet them. You get to meet the new principal, Mr. Lambo. He's an awesome dude. You get to see your favorite assistant principals, Miss Mashiel and Mr. Duanta. And it's going to be dope. It's going to be a great night. I'm going to kind of go through what we do in here in social studies every day. I'm going to talk to your parents about the transition to the new curriculum, how excited I am to be doing it, because it's been a little while since I've done some modern geography and modern civilization stuff. But I've got some cool stuff in the back pocket. Mr. Curley, Mr. Gurry, and Mr. Degner and I got some really big things planned. We're really excited. Yeah, so that's it. The second important announcement is Friday the 26th is our picture day. So please make sure you come dressed to impress, and your boy, Mr. Rosten, is going to have something funky going on for picture day. I can't exactly tell you what the surprise is this year, but just know there will be a surprise on picture day from me, because now that's my thing. We can, thank some of my former 6th grade teammates who, challenged me to do something funny and not so serious for picture day. And I think I crushed it last time. You can look at the picture when you come into my room of me with the welcome sign and see what I'm talking about. So that's it for Rosten Reviews this week. 3 weeks down, 37 weeks until summer vacation. Let's go. Let's have a day. Remember, this weekend, get some rest, recharge those batteries, come back with 110% energy because you know Rosten is going to be bringing it in social studies this week. All right, friends, have a great weekend. Be safe. Don't be stupid. Peace be with you and with you. Rosten out.